fixin' for another big game. It's a coach. You're locked into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals as they get set to square off against the Houston Texans. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. Second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Richmond. Down. Back 22.
From the gun, here's Watson. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. The numbers for Mixon last week, the hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Cousins. And pressure gets to him again.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They go play action here on 1st down. Washington with the catch, middle of the field. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. They give them a gain of 37.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender.
And this is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he will finally go out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On 1st and 10, Cousins to the left side here for Eifert. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. They'll throw again. Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
We're going. Let's go.
Here's a give to Mixon. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They keep it with Miller on first down. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's Watson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hopkins. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now here's Ross. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. The 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And a look now at Lamar Miller. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge differences, we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
This is Miller, and very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It was Ryan Glasgow who got him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw is Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st and 10, Watson. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. There he goes, right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 for a Bengals TD. Short throw, pick-6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing again is Watson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Watson to throw on third down. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Watson now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Back 22! Back 22!
Again, it's Watson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To the air yet again. Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Now it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. Returning it, John Ross. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Go ahead. Run out!
A handoff to Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
We're going, let's go.
They run for it with Mixon. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. So here's the Texans offense. Now they get set to start this 3rd quarter. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Oh, there he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the 2nd half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Watson. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. He's really putting together a spectacular season. That interception, number 11 now on the year.
And I know we're all taught that 7 is a lucky number. I'd say 11 is for him, huh? No doubt about it.
Following the interception, Cousins to the left side here for Eifert. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now Joe Mixon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Joey Bosa. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Line out! Lynch 50!
Running left, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took... Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice. To give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Texans on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Black 22! Black 22!
A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Watson going deep for Hopkins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And some room to roam now. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. 77 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Now the try here for the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Reset, reset, reset. Red, black 22. Black 22. 955. Hey, eat.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans get a bit closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead is down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the pitch goes to Mixon, and he's going to be taken down right at the line. They'll be marked inches short, no gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run with Mixon. And an alley to run. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game, and privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching, and he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 22.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Dumps it complete to Miller, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Watson on first down. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On second down, here's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Well, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. From the gun on third, Watson. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long. And
they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Hey, Ken! We're going. Let's go.
A handoff, running left, Mixon. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Cousins here to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and that's caught inside the 30. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this one is incomplete. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Cincinnati, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.